So yeah, that's also a bit of advice. Close your curtains before you get dressed. Hello guys, and welcome to today's video, which is going to be my back to school Q&A advice video. I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me questions and you delivered. Thank you so much for the amount of questions that I got. It was literally absolutely crazy, and I will probably be doing another Q&A in my back to school series pretty soon. So if I didn't answer your question, or if you want to ask me a question and didn't realise that I was asking questions, or you don't follow me on Instagram, remember to keep updated and follow my Instagram, which is beauty_by_cat08. And yes, I don't want to make this video really tedious and long, so without further ado, let's get right on with the video. So the first question, which I'm picking like completely randomly, is from Melissa Nom26, who asks, what is the #1 thing that you recommend one should have in college? So to answer this question, I would probably say a laptop. I understand that in university libraries and places like that, they have computers that you can use, but it's just so much better having your own laptop. Having your own laptop means you can write that essay or do that homework sitting in bed. Like, I'm sorry, but there is nothing better than that. But yeah, a laptop is definitely the thing you should bring. Natalie Rao asks me, ever had a boyfriend? Yes, I've had two. One when I was 12, one when I was 14. Do I have a boyfriend now? Absolutely not. Why would a boy go for me? I literally repel boys. It's a serious problem. Ben Stars and Clouds 9 asks me, what can I do to get a good night's sleep so I can be productive at school? Okay, this is something that I typed into Google like a million times when I was at school, because I had to wake up at like 6:10 and I wouldn't get to sleep till like 11 or 12. So I was having like 6 hours sleep a night, which is definitely not good, especially when you have to concentrate for such a long time at school. So I would say my #1 tip for you is to stop using electrical devices like 30 minutes before you go to sleep. I had quite a long period of not being able to get to sleep until like 1 or 2 in the morning, but then I realised every night that I couldn't get to sleep for a long time was a night that I was sitting in bed for like an hour looking at my laptop, or like listening to music or watching YouTube videos. And when I stopped doing these things right before I went to sleep, I could get to sleep so much easier. So definitely try to relax yourself before going to bed rather than like watching YouTube videos or something like that. That boy Adrian asks me, how do you know what to major in? Also, how do you make friends if you're a really shy person? So the first question, actually most people don't really know what to major in. They really just do what they liked at school. So what you really need to think about is what you're best at. So if you really like essay writing and being creative, maybe don't major in like a science subject. But if you're super mathsy, then maybe English isn't for you. So as many of you know, I'm majoring in law at university. And although I did not study this before I went to university, I knew that it was a very essay-based subject, but it's also very relevant and uses your analytical skills. And the two subjects that I really liked at school were history, which is very essay-based, and economics, which is very analytical and relevant. So I basically, yeah, put those two together, wanted a new challenge, then realised law was probably for me. But I probably would have enjoyed a history degree as much, if not more, than a law degree. But obviously in America you can do classes in like your first and second year, so just do as many classes as you can to find out what you really like. And in response to the second question, I would just say try to put yourself out there like as much as possible. University is one of the only times where no one has friends, so everyone wants to be your friend. So although I was just so nervous when I started university and I thought, no one is going to want to be my friend, I'm such like an awkward person, I have a really big group of friends, and I know people who are a lot more shy than me and they have really big friend groups as well. It's really not an issue at university. That was one of the things I was just so scared about before I started, but honestly it's like the least of your worries. Then Sarah Bobara Susanna asks me, tips on getting through homework quickly because we have lives and sports and clubs and jobs and don't have time for 5 hours of homework. I'm going to be honest, there's no real quick way of getting through homework, but the one thing that I would recommend is just don't procrastinate. Like, through procrastination you make a 1 hour bit of homework like a 4 or a 5 hour job. So just really plan your day and say, for example, between the hours of 5 and 6 in the evening I am going to do homework, and you don't do anything but homework. You can listen to some music, but you do not go on YouTube, you do not go on Facebook, and you turn off your phone. And that is the one bit of advice that I really have. And then my friend Nadine asks me, what has been your most embarrassing moment in college? Okay, this is probably not very embarrassing, but my window looks out onto a path, and literally, like, no one goes down that path because it is a dead end. So I've probably seen like 10 people maximum in the whole year go down that path. So when I'm getting out of my pajamas or just changing in general, I just think, what's the point of closing the curtains? No one's going to come past. And yeah, people have come past. It's been very embarrassing for me as well as for them. So yeah, that's also a bit of advice. Close your curtains before you get dressed. And the last question is from Kodak Memories, who asks me, what has been your favourite class that you have taken so far? Sadly, because I do law, I'm only allowed to do law classes, but I would say the ones that I've enjoyed the most are one called UK Constitutional Law and one called Individual and the State. And they are both very politics, not very law based. So for example, the Individual and the State talks a lot about the Human Rights Act and like fundamental human rights that we all have as human beings. And the whole issue of human rights and our general election and whether the UK has a constitution or not just really interests me. So yeah, I think they were my favourite classes. And yes, I feel like this video was super long, so I should probably stop it now. I'm so sorry if I didn't answer your question, but please ask more questions the next time that I do a Q&A, which, as I already said, is probably only going to be in like a week or two. And if you know that you want to ask me a question for my next one, remember to follow me on Instagram, which is beautybycat08. And yes, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time, guys. Bye, I love you.